इस वक्त मैं मौजूद हूँ अमेरिका के एक ऐसे कॉलेज में जो कि ट्रेडिशनल या नॉर्मल कॉलेज से मुख्तलिफ है और यहाँ आने वाले स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं कम से कम या तो 1 साल या 4 साल में यहाँ से ग्रेजुएशन लेकर ऐसी तनख्वाहें बनाते हैं जो कि कभी कभार या बहुत सारे केसेस में नॉर्मल कॉलेजेस से भी ज़्यादा होती हैं। ऐसे कॉलेजेस को यहाँ पर ट्रेड स्कूल्स या ट्रेड कॉलेजेस कहा जाता है। मैं आपको छोटा सा इस कॉलेज का पहले टूर देता हूँ, क्या क्या स्किल्स यहाँ पे सिखाए जाते हैं, कौन कौन सी ट्रेनिंग्स यहाँ पे लेते हैं और फिर यहाँ के कुछ इंस्ट्रक्टर से और यहाँ के असातिज़ा से उनसे बात करते हैं कि किस किस्म के करियर आप पिक कर सकते हैं यहाँ से ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद अमेरिका में, कितनी तनख्वाह बना सकते हैं। और बास केसेस में तो ये तनख्वाहें लाइक आई सेड के नॉर्मल कॉलेजेस से जो डिग्रियां हासिल करते हैं उनसे भी ज़्यादा होती हैं। पहले आइए इस कॉलेज का एक टूर लेते हैं और फिर उनसे बात करते हैं। ये पूरा यहाँ पर एक गैराज बना हुआ है, आपने देखा ये सारी शॉप्स है जहाँ पर मुख्तलिफ औकात में मुख्तलिफ किस्म की ट्रेनिंग्स हो रही होती हैं। इस वक्त मेरे पीछे जो आप देख रहे हैं कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को इलेक्ट्रिक का काम सिखाया जा रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिकल काम सिखाया जा रहा है। उसके ठीक बराबर में एक ये छोटी सी शॉप है जिसमें मैं आपको अगर करीब जाकर दिखाऊं तो वहाँ पे जो स्टूडेंट्स मौजूद हैं वो कारपेंट्री का काम सीख रहे हैं। यहाँ पर उनको कारपेंट्री का काम सिखाया जा रहा है और ये तमाम जो पीछे आप बैकग्राउंड यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं ये पूरा एक बहुत बड़ा गैराज बना हुआ है। इलेक्ट्रिकल वर्क और कारपेंट्री के अलावा यहाँ पर वेल्डिंग का काम भी होता है। मैं वेल्डिंग की शॉप आपको दिखाने जा रहा हूँ, यहाँ पर कौन कौन सी इंस्ट्रक्शंस होती हैं। ये वेल्डिंग का एरिया है। इस वक्त यहाँ पर कोई स्टूडेंट्स मौजूद नहीं है लेकिन यहाँ पर वेल्डिंग्स की क्लासें होती हैं और इस किस्म यहाँ के भी स्किल्स लेने के बाद आपको यहाँ से एक सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है, ग्रेजुएट आप यहाँ से करते हैं और बहुत सारे केसेस में तो आपकी जॉब लगी हुई होती है और वाइल यू आर ऑन द जॉब आप ये सारी ट्रेनिंग्स ले सकते हैं। और कभी कभार मुझे ये बताया गया है कि आपको ये फ़ीस भी खुद से नहीं देनी पड़ती, आपके जो एम्प्लॉयर होते हैं जहाँ पर आप काम करते हैं वहाँ से आपकी फ़ीस पे की जाती है। पहले हम इलेक्ट्रिक क्लास में जाते हैं, उनसे कुछ पूछते हैं उनकी ट्रेनिंग के बारे में और फिर कारपेंट्री से बात करते हैं और फिर आपको ये बताते हैं कि क्या प्रोसेस है इस ऐसे किसी स्कूल को ज्वाइन करने का अमेरिका में और किस किस्म की तनख्वाहें हैं, किस किस्म का करियर आप परस्यू कर सकते हैं। Hi, do you mind if I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Your name, sir?
My name is John.
John, tell us briefly, what are you teaching here? What's going on?
We're looking at bending conduit. Conduit is the system that we install wires in to do the work of electricity for us.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got Matt here, and he is making some intricate bends to be able to get around obstacles. So he learns the techniques of integral conduit bending.
And you teach electrical. Normally, how much time does it get for your students to to learn the basics so that they can start a job or maybe get graduation and all that?
Right. Well, they're learning the basics on the job. They come here to get the fine-tuned education on the basic principles of what they're doing on the job. Okay, so now they're learning principles, techniques, and more not background knowledge of the trade.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about your class?
Well, we've got a nice project here that we're finishing up, and we're able to learn the difference between residential wiring, household wiring, and commercial wiring here. All right, so Hunter here is now finishing up the finished touches for some residential type wiring here and has already installed the electrical service equipment for it.
All right, thank you, sir. Thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
अब एक कारपेंट्री की क्लास है यहाँ पे हो रही है, उनके पास जाते हैं एंड उनसे बात करते हैं. Hi, how are you?
Pretty good, yourself?
Yeah, what's your name?
My name's Alexander Joshua.
Alex, tell us what's happening here. What are they learning? What are they doing?
Well, we have the rough carpentry as well as finished carpentry. We have the framing, the sheeting, the drywall, door installation, a little bit of everything. So, yeah.
So normally when your students come in here, how much time do they spend in this class every day and how long does it take for them to graduate?
It's a 1-year program, and it's usually 2.5 hours long. The class is 2.5 hours long. Yep.
Is it hard?
No, not at all. Not at all. We help you through it. It's more of a repetition. We get you the terms, get you to know what it is, and we come out here with the hands-on. So you have your book work as well as your hands-on, and it's a great program.
So normally when people see these kind of jobs, they think that, there's no career into it or whatever. I mean, you know better. Like if somebody doesn't know anything about this, what kind of career they're looking at into carpentry?
Oh my! You have your rough, your finish, your commercial. You have a lot of things you can You can go into carpentry. You'll always stay busy in carpentry. The more you learn in carpentry, the further you can go in carpentry. I actually made the transition from finished carpentry, rough carpentry, as also I also do commercial carpentry. So there's a lot of things they can learn here. We also have the commercial carpentry here. If you see the studs back there, that's part of your commercial carpentry. You use metal studs. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of things you can get into in here.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
तो इस वक्त ये जो बेसिकली मैं जहाँ पर मौजूद हूँ ये साउथ ईस्ट मिशिगन कंस्ट्रक्शन एकेडमी है सेम का, जो कि अमेरिकी रियासत मिशिगन के शहर मैडिसन हाइट्स में मौजूद है। अब चलते हैं इनके एक क्लासरूम में जाते हैं जहाँ पर ना सिर्फ यहाँ पर ये हैंड्स ऑन उनको ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है जो कि गराज में है, बट क्लासरूम में जाके भी उनको थोड़ा टाइम स्पेंड करना पड़ता है। अब मैं आपको वो क्लासरूम दिखाता हूँ और वहाँ पर इनके जो एकेडमी चलाने वाले यहाँ के लोग हैं उनसे बात करते हैं कि किस किस्म की तनख्वाहें ये ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद लोग एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, कितने पैसे आप बना सकते हैं और किस तरह कोई भी यहाँ पर इस तरह के किसी स्कूल में अमेरिका भर में दाखिला ले सकता है और ख़ुद भी ग्रेजुएशन हासिल कर सकता है। तो इस वक्त मैं मौजूद हूँ स्ट्रेट स्कूल के एक क्लासरूम में और मेरे साथ डियाना मॉर्ली मौजूद हैं जो कि इस स्कूल को मैनेज करती हैं, यहाँ की कम्युनिकेशंस को मैनेज करती हैं। इनसे हम बात करते हैं इस पूरे ट्रेड इंडस्ट्री के हवाले से, किस किस्म की जॉब्स हैं और इनका कॉलेज क्या करता है। डियाना, thank you very much for talking with us. First of all, briefly tell me about your place, the Southeast Michigan College, and then what do you guys do here? What do you teach here? Like overall, all the courses, briefly.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me here today. So I am Deanna Morley, Vice President of Education for the Southeast Michigan Construction Academy. And what we do here is train people to build communities and build things all around them. We're teaching building trades, so things like electrical, HVAC, carpentry, welding, all different things that people do with their hands and build things all around them. So for many students here, this is a post-secondary option. So after they graduate high school, they have to be at least 18 years old. They can come to school here. It's just another option for students to pursue higher education.
Now, typically when people think of like education or higher education and going into career, normally these kind of colleges don't come into their mind. Somebody watching this, why should they choose a trade college like you and not a typical like college?
Sure. So this is going to be a great option for somebody who wants a non-traditional college experience. So maybe somebody who really does love to work with their hands and wants to spend more time out in a shop or out in the field doing things rather than just sitting behind a desk all day long in traditional college courses. This is going to be somebody who thinks more creatively and just uses their brain in a little different way. Again, that hands-on piece, that hands-on education, you'll see that as you move around our building here, you're going to see lots of different things that the students use so that it helps them apply what they hear in lecture and makes more sense to them because they're just learning a different way. So this is going to be somebody that's ready to work, that's ready to start something, start a career, want a career path that they can make a great living at without having to have school debt, without having to make the time commitment, same types of time commitment that university degree would be.
Right. And you mentioned school debt. Without giving any specifics, can you give us a rough idea how does it compare with a regular college when it comes to the tuition cost? And also, once they graduate their career, the money they make?
Sure. So for many of our programs, they vary in length. So a traditional university path would be a 4-year program. So for our electrical students, they do have to study for 4 years. That's both a state and federal requirement that they study for 4 years. But some of our other trades, they're going to be less time commitment. So right there, it's going to be could be a shorter time commitment depending on what trade you pick. And our tuition is very reasonable compared to university path. So first year you come to school here, it's $3,800. And then the tuition does drop slightly for years 2, 3, and 4. Again, if you're in just a 1-year program, you're going to pay that $38,000. If you're in a longer program, you'll pay a little bit more. So a student that's studying to be an electrician, all in for 4 years, can be under $14,000, which would be much, much lower than university.
Yes.
And another piece that makes us more unique is students are expected to be working during the day and coming to school at night. We follow a apprenticeship earn while you earn model. So we want the students working during the day, coming to school at night. School's 6:30 to 9 p.m. And when they're working, they're making a living, they're earning, and a lot of employers actually help pay for tuition.
That's right.
Yeah, there's definitely an interest for the companies to contribute.
So this is like one way different from the regular schools that they can be learning here while they're working at a job and the same job that they're learning here, and sometimes their employer might be paying for their tuition.
Absolutely. Yep. It's not a guarantee, but it's something that we really encourage and we help the students find.
And after they graduate, if you could, again, without giving specifics, compare like the jobs that people choose after clearing a regular college versus your trade college, what kind of salary ranges are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to exactly pinpoint, but we're definitely seeing once you complete training, $30, $35, $40 an hour. And then, once you hit a license, if you go through that electrical license and you become a journeyman, now you're looking at a six-figure salary. That's very realistic. And so that's somebody just 22, 23 years old could easily be in a six-figure salary.
You mean after graduating from your school?
After
just
graduating and getting a license, a state license, and in the electrical trade. Yes, it's not far off for a six-figure salary.
And nationally, what's the scope currently? Because a lot of people don't know about these kind of trade jobs or these kind of colleges. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of jobs out there. That's why, there's a lot of interest. Like, do you have any idea, like, how many jobs currently are there in trades, like trade jobs and all that?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I do know that it's very large. And there's so many people retiring right now, and there aren't the young people to fill those jobs. And then also we're seeing our infrastructure around us is crumbling. We're seeing an investment from both our federal and state government saying, we have infrastructure dollars to spend. We want to build our communities and make them better places to live. And we need workers to do that. So there is just so many jobs available right now in construction.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it's not just a job that they can look after they're graduated from here. They can start their own work, right?
Absolutely. So that's something we talk about here a lot, is that you're looking at a career path. You're in it for the long game here. So you may start off doing field work in your specific trade and craft. However, the potential to becoming first and foremost a foreman, a supervisor, project manager, estimator, and then even the owner of the company, that is not a far off plan. We have many instances of that here as students where they're in their early 30s and 40s and they own their own electrical companies and they're doing quite well for themselves.
So finally, if somebody watching here, they're interested in joining either your school or any trade school, what do they need to keep in mind? What do they need to do?
So the basics here is you do have to be at least 18 years old. We do require you to have proof of citizenship here to be a student here. It's a Department of Labor requirement. And then we want you to have a high school diploma or a GED certificate. So if you got all those things, you go onto our website. We've got an online application and registration process. And actually, this is a great time to be thinking about it. We'll be starting our new school year come September. All the registration and things open in the spring months. And so it's just, you can look on our website, semcaschool.org, for that whole process. And, now's that great time to be thinking about what you're going to do in the fall.
All right. Thanks, Deanna.
You're welcome.
All right. That's it. See you next time.